Did the White House just say illegal immigrants' privacy rights trump our own? That's on Cashin' In. But first,
as Americans demand answers about where all those illegal immigrants are going, the White House is saying this.
There are privacy rights that are included in the law that this administration is committed to enforcing and following.
But sadly, they're talking about illegals' rights, not our rights. Should their rights trump our rights? Plus, shocking new evidence America's youth is embracing socialism more and more, what it means for the future of our country. And then, while Hillary is yucking it up with Jon Stewart this week, we're learning she's raking in big bucks from speaking at colleges. So while students are suffering with debt, she's laughing all the way to the bank. Cashing in starts right now. Hi, everyone. I'm Eric Bolling. Welcome to Cashin' In. Our Cashin' In crew this week: Wayne Rogers, Jonathan Honig, Michelle Fields, and Juan Williams. Welcome, everybody. Americans are fed up, fighting back, but feeling like we're being flipped off. The White House refusing to reveal where the thousands of illegal immigrants are going to be housed across the country. Apparently, illegals' privacy, their rights trump Americans' right to know what's happening in our own backyards. Michelle, this is insane in the membrane.
We have the NSA spying on us every single day. So I love that this administration is basically saying that illegal immigrants have more privacy rights than us. We are spending up to $1,000 every single day for these young illegal immigrants. So yes, if we're spending all of this money, we absolutely should know what's going on. And the question that nobody is asking is, what about the children here in America? We have 16 million children living in poverty, 6.8 million living in extreme poverty here in America. What about them? What about the kids in Detroit, in Chicago? 59% of Americans say that they want these kids, these illegals, sent back. And they're absolutely right. Let's focus on what's happening here in America.
John, what about it? Do they have the right to go wherever they want to put them, and then we don't have the right to know that they're coming into our school systems, into our communities?
Well, Eric, all individuals have the same rights. I mean, a right is a right to an action. It's not a right to a freebie from someone else. And I think that's what's getting so many Americans so upset here. Not so much that immigrants, illegal or otherwise, are moving in, but that they're paying for it. And that's the point here. This whole uproar is not about immigration. It's really about money. No one gets free food, free housing, free education in a free society, in a capitalist society. So this whole uproar about immigration is really about the entitlement system. And if you say each each illegal is costing us $1,000 a day, $500 a day, fine. Make them legal, then they won't cost us a dime.
Well, Wayne, let me go to you, because I'm doing the math. I'm putting a pen to paper here, and there's going to be 100,000 illegal children in the country by the end of the year. That's estimated. And we've talked upwards of $1,000 per child per day. We're talking billions upon billions of Americans' tax dollars that's going to cost us. We should have the right to know where they're going, shouldn't we?
Well, of course, but Eric, I think it's even more fundamental than that. You start with, and I've said this ad nauseum on this show, as everybody knows, you start with the term illegal. How can you start with a term that says illegal aliens and then talk about rights that are superior to us, who are not illegal, who are legal, or people who have come to this country and gone through the legal process of becoming citizens? How can you turn around and say, bless these illegals, as you said, and have them supersede the rights of people who are here legitimately? It's outrageous, it's dumb, it's stupid, and everybody who supports it, including that guy at the White House, should suffer for it.
Go ahead, Juan. You want to take the other side of that one?
I do, Eric, because it seems to me you guys are inviting a dangerous situation. We know that there are people who have strong feelings about this issue, people who have embarrassed themselves attacking a YMCA bus thinking it was a bus of illegal children. It was American kids. So why would the White House, why would any government agency intentionally create a dangerous situation, one that is untenable? And secondly, you know what? We should look out for those kids. I think we should look out for any kids who are fleeing the kind of violence, political instability, being taunted and threatened by drug cartels.
Hold on, guys, let me do this. I know
those are American values. That's what America stands for.
Juan is doing exactly what liberals are doing across the country right now. Let's roll a soundbite of a couple of Democrats and how they're treating this. They're playing on people's emotions. Listen.
My inclination is to remember what happened when a ship full of Jewish children tried to come to the United States in 1939, and the United States turned them away. and many of them went to their deaths in Nazi concentration camps.
These children are really refugees, child refugees of a drug war that is our making.
All right, let me give it to you, Michelle. That was Deval Patrick, governor, and also Rob Reich, former labor secretary. Really playing on people's emotions. Is it like Nazi concentration camps, as they're pointing out?
Absolutely not, and that comparison is just insulting. But look, let's be honest, 99% of the world compared to America is awful. They're just simply not as good as us, and the conditions are not as good as us. So what, are we going to now allow everyone who's suffering into America? That's not realistic. And Juan, if you want that, allow them into your house. You pay for them. But it's unfair to ask taxpayers to pay for all of these people.
John, should we take everyone?
Let me just tell you quickly.
Go ahead.
Put brain in gear. You know, Eric's talking about putting pen to paper. Put brain to gear and realize if we could pass comprehensive immigration reform, get past the Republican obstructionism in the House, the Congressional Budget Office says we would save billions.
Let's stay on topic.
Billions of dollars instead of wasting money on trying to house these kids. We would have an immigration system.
John, should we be doing this? Should we take all children who come from places, frankly, that have bad economies? Maybe there's some crime where they come from. And is it fair to really compare it to Nazi Germany?
No, I mean, nothing compares to the Holocaust. That's just an outrageous comment to Michelle's point. But, Eric, I do think we should want immigrants. We should want, to Juan's point, comprehensive immigration, but it should go back to what we had in the late 1800s and early 1900s. That attracted the right sort of immigrant, the independent immigrant who didn't come here for the minimum wage, the handouts of the free, anything. They came here specifically because they were free. They were able to pursue their own self-interest, and that's what's missing. That's why it's really about entitlements. Right. It's not about immigrants.
You know,
I got to get Wayne in here before we go. We're running out of time. Wayne,
don't forget that they call the Irish dogs, they call the Italians. Every time they put down the immigrants.
Okay, Wayne, last thought on the block.
I'm for open immigration, Juan.
Wayne.
What I find crazy about this, everybody says immigration reform, comprehensive immigration reform. Nobody knows what those details are. Nobody explains what that means. In the meantime, you're saying that the people who are here legitimately have to suffer for the people who are here illegitimately. That I don't understand. That's not fair. That's not American. That's more mean-spirited than anything.
And that is the end of the block. We're going to have to leave it right there, but you can continue the conversation right now on Twitter, hashtag CashIn, trending 25 weeks in a row. Last week, we broke new ground. That hashtag had our highest number of tweets ever. Your tweets drive our debates right here. JJ Author said, quote, no president since World War II has done more to harm the Constitution by executive orders and not enforcing particular laws. Hashtag cashing in. And I just tweeted this. Airliner shot out of the sky, war breaking out in the Mideast, commander-in-chief's fundraising and photo-opping around the country. Hashtag cashing in. If you agree with that tweet, retweet that one to your followers.